to talk about your questions and answer them. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about table on the window chair, and if you struggle with it, what exercises you should be doing on the mat and reformer. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for being here. If you've subscribed to this channel, you are amazing. You are awesome. If you haven't yet, please do. And hit the notification button because we actually do go live every Sunday answering your questions again in the comments. If you're an OPC member, we answer your questions inside the members only community, including looking at your form. We just did 3 members feedback videos on Friday. It was so fun to give them insight on what's going on with their practice. So table on the window chair, I'm going to show you it, then we're going to talk about it. Before we get into it though, I just want to say I'm coming to a city near you. So our OPC summer tour tickets are on sale and you can join us live in person if you go to opc.me/tour. opc.me/tour. We have 13 cities over 15 days. Several cities have classes have already sold out, but there is space in the workshop. So opc.me/tour. If you live between Nevada and Minneapolis, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Ohio, Cleveland, and then the route there and back, we might have a city where you are at. So opc.me/tour. Okay, now let's get into table. So table on the window chair, I'm going to show it to you, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the chair. Heels are together, toes are apart. You want a heavier spring, like a 1-3 at the top bottom. If you're on another chair that's got like a cactus ladder, you're going to want a 1 on a 1 and 1 on a 3. And then you want your hands wide. I see a lot of people put them too narrow. You want them really wide. You want your elbows soft. And then you try to keep the pedal up when you lift your hips up. Now, in an ideal world, I could get my hips much higher. But if I do that, I lean back. So I have to move my hips lower and curl them under. And then you pump the pedal and you pull it up. And the goal is that your tailbone isn't going down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So I like a pant with a seam on it because you can look at the seam and make sure that that seam is parallel to the floor or trying to be as the pedal goes. If you're struggling with table, it's a good sign you're actually not ready for it. So I'll go into the mat exercise and reformer exercise in just a second, but let's talk about why we do the chairs in the first place. The chairs are here to challenge a practice that you have. Yes, they absolutely do teach some connections. I absolutely do use the chair to help people learn an exercise on it before they get on the reformer, but it's still challenging the connections that they have. And I'm thinking that you are ready to do tendon stretch on the reformer someday. So I'm going to teach it to you here on the chair. Table on the window chair. If I'm going to give this to you, I should already have an idea that you can stand on your arm back connection and that you have a good fast connection, a good hamstring glute connection, that your legs are working from your center. If you're someone with tight hip flexors, there isn't any correction or cue I could give you. You're not ready for this yet. We have to strengthen the back of your legs and open up the front of your legs, okay? If you're someone who hyperextends their elbows, softening your elbows isn't actually going to get you into the exercise in a way that feels strong. You're just going to soften your elbows. We actually have to teach you how to have strong, long arms so that you can really stand in this arm back connection. So what I would say is if you're struggling, like just the too long, didn't listen to the rest of this, if you're struggling with table, it's possible you have to build the connections up to do table, okay? So let's talk about those connections. On the mat, I really want to see a really good shoulder bridge, and not just shoulder bridge, arms down, hips up, hips down. Not just hips up, one leg out, up and down. Like that's bare minimum. I want to see that you can even get your hands underneath your hips, that kind of shoulder bridge, because that tells me you can get your hips a little higher. You can direct them towards your knees. You have a strong glute hamstring connection. I'd also want to see, Brad, you want to bring that? I'd also want to see that you have a really good leg pull back and even hip circles. I'm going to move this out of the way, and my assistant is bringing me my mat. So here we go. Here's the man behind the camera, guys. This Brad. All right, thank you. So he will not bring the reformer over, just a heads up. Can't do that on his own. Okay, so just because table looks like this doesn't mean that this is all you need to have to be able to do table. I need to see that you can actually be in this position without weight on your wrist. Like you're not hanging out here, but your hamstrings and glutes are holding you up. So you shouldn't feel the wrist here. And this means you can have this nice open hip and glute strength. You can stand on your shoulders. I also would love to see that this exercise is in your practice. If this exercise is not in your practice, right, then how are you going to stand on your arms and table? It's so much harder. It's a moving platform. So now I might use table to challenge this exercise or to give you even more strength. But if you can't do this, table isn't going to help you, right? You got to be able to do this to do table. Then I said hip circles. The reason I said hip circles is because hip circles shows me that you have a really good fast connection. This should not be in your hip flexors at all. So if you are needing that fast connection, then I want to see some single leg kick. I do this in every mat class on OPC. We never skip single leg kick because it's so good. Okay, and then some double leg kick. That's going to be very key because this is not only going to stretch the front of my chest, it's going to strengthen my upper back, these arms, and then my legs are working my vas, a hamstring glute connection, and stretching the front of my hips. And then a thigh stretch. Also another exercise we can't skip because it's so good. It opens this up, it strengthens this. So if you want table to be more accessible to you, those three plus the two I showed before gotta be in your practice. Otherwise, that's not going to be awesome. So let me know in the comments below if you struggle with those things, because those are the basics. And sometimes we want to get to the fancy stuff, right? On the reformer, like I said, I can't bring it over here, but on the reformer, stomach massage, arms back. So a lot of people rest in their arms. If you are resting your arms and stomach massage, arms back, table is not going to be an option for you. So I want you to really focus on your form there. Your pull straps. Are you bending your wrists? Are you locking your elbows? Your long back stretch on the reformer on the long stretch series. If you're feeling that in your wrist, table is not going to be the thing you need. So if you have all these exercises saying in your practice and you're like, nailed it, got that, then table should be something very possible for you. But if you are hearing these exercises going, ooh, I struggle with that, so let's just remove table from just put it on the goal sheet, and let's actually focus on what you need to strengthen those. So what you can use the Wunda chair for to strengthen your double leg kick and your single leg kick is shoulder bridge on the Wunda chair. You can also do long back arms on the Wunda chair. You can do teaser on top with the arms back. That's going to help you. You can do some push downs where you do the shaves to connect your arms to your back, right? That would be a really good use. Frog facing out, even if you just did the leg part to really get the glute connection and you stood up in your back. That's going to be really, really amazing for you. So one thing that's what I try to get through to people that are OPC members or teachers inside of my mentorship program, Elevate, which if you're interested and you can apply for, we only do one round a year, is that if you struggle with an exercise, practice that exercise over and over again is not going to make you be able to do that exercise. That doesn't mean you never do it, but like it's important to go, should I be doing that exercise right now? What exercises do I need to help me, right? I asked a question on Instagram the other day about like, do you skip the 100? This person's like, it always gets in my neck. And I said, oh, are you doing all these other exercises? And they said, yes. And I said, okay, well, that's the 100. So either we have a mental block with the 100 or we need something more to help get us connected to the 100 before we do it. And that's okay. So we need to use the exercises that Just Pilates gave us to help us do the exercises we want to be able to do in the practice. Not every exercise for everybody all of the time. Okay, some exercises are going to be for you later, and it's about building up that practice. So enjoy the foundations, enjoy the practice, enjoy the play and the curiosity that's there. Keep these questions coming, but also check out onlinepilatesclasses.com. Not only do we do life better, we have an incredible, amazing community. We have our own members-only community on our app. You can actually download the app for free. You can watch all the tutorials that we had. You can listen to my podcast. But if you want to take class with us, you can take a class in the app if you are a member. And you can also get feedback on your form. So I could look at your table and tell you what's going on in a more specific way that might get you to it faster. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope to see you on the tour. That would be so fun. And if you want to try all out OPC, go to onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube. onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube. Have an awesome day.